afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Norm's Friends. I'm David B., the readings guy, 603-404-9338, Biffid at yahoo.com. And lucky me, as luck would have it, I have a guest today. This fine young man, his name is David Casey. He's got quite the story for us, so stay tuned. Hopefully you'll call in, have some questions for him. It's going to be a nice, inspirational, uplifting show. All right, so as usual, we have our inspirational quote. We have our interesting fun facts before we get back to my guest. And also, before I forget, next week, Wednesday, September 13th, no show, a rerun. I have to go down the SNU. I guess they're getting new POSs in there, so mandatory training, so no show, and that's that. But they're giving us supper, so there you have it. Also, before I forget, remember you want a fantastic breakfast, Derry Salem Elks, 8 to 11 a.m. The price is just right. It's on the lower side. The food is fantastic. Go down there. It's open to the public. Definitely worth the ride. All right, so here we go. Let's get the inspirational quote of the day out of the way, and we'll start going there. And also, after I finish, naturally, the interesting fun facts, 603-640-3091 to join us. All right, so here's the quote for today. Believe in yourself. You are braver than you think, more talented than you know, and capable of more than you imagine. Roy T. Bennett, The Light in the Heart. There you go. I keep saying it over and over again. You know, listen to yourself, reach within to that inner strength, your higher self, whatever you want to call it. The sky's the limit. Don't limit yourself. Don't put fences around you. Don't put borders around you. Let your soul soar. All right, the interesting fun facts today. Laughter, all right? And they're quick today, so we can get back to my guest. All right, interesting fun fact number one, which I think is, I don't know how they know this. The ages at which we laugh most exuberantly are 5 and 6, but I'm going to dispute that because I still laugh uncontrollably all the time. And here's an interesting fun fact number two. I don't know how they know. Well, they must listen. Monkeys and rats laugh. There you have it. Who would have known? Interesting fun fact number three. Research shows that couples who laugh together are more likely to have a longer relationship. What is important is not so much finding a partner with a sense of humor, but rather that partners can create humor together. And as I always say, if you don't have a sense of humor, why bother? Fun fact, interesting fact number four, laughter is contagious. Just watching people laugh activates the brain to prepare facial muscles to join in. I guess it is, because if you're in it right, you go to a comedy show, everybody laughs. Interesting fun fact number five. Laughing just 10 to 15 minutes a day can burn up to 40 calories. So if you go on a laughing diet. Interesting fun fact number six. Laughter synchronizes the brains of both speaker and listener so that they become emotionally attuned. Interesting fun fact number seven. Research shows that people who laugh at dark jokes have higher IQs and report less aggressive tendencies. And whatever a dark joke is, who knows. Interesting fun fact number eight. You can't make yourself laugh by tickling yourself. Your brain predicts that a tickle is about to happen, so it's impossible to surprise yourself. Interesting fun fact number 9. Even forcing yourself to smile or to laugh can improve your mood. easy. And finally, interesting fun fact number 10. I don't really know how to pronounce this right. Gelatophobia or gelatophobia, Gelotophobia, is the fear of laughter. Those who suffer from gelatophobia respond to all laughter as if it is at their expense. Up to 13% of the population could be afraid of laughter, but I don't think that's true either, because I know a lot of people. I don't know anyone who's afraid of laughter. So there we go. So again, this guy, my guest today, David Casey, he's got quite the story for us. So David, take it away. Tell us what happened to you and what's been happening since.
All right. So as you said, my name is David Casey from Manchester, New Hampshire. I'm a T12 paraplegic. I was in a
T12?
T12, correct. So there's different vertebrae in your spine all the way up and down. I happened to fracture one. It's in the T section. There's like T, L, and C, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Don't quote me if I'm wrong. But I had broken T12 and it left me paralyzed. Everybody tends to believe it's from the waist down for the chair.
Mm-hmm.
It's from about like shoulder down. And ever since then, for the last few months, I fought a long battle in the hospital, trying to get better. I fought a lot of urinary tract infections, stuff like that. But I finally got out, and as soon as I got out, I prospered. I got sick of laying in a bed and not living. I had to get up and live, And ever since then, it's just been a type of self-rehabilitation I've never really felt before. I can't say that I was the best kid growing up. I've been through my trials and tribulations, but I've always just managed to just sneak by, and I always just thought I was okay. I thought I knew it all. I thought I had the world in my hand until I didn't,
Yep.
So I learned my lesson, I believe, and now I hope to inspire somebody to not do what I did and be who I was,
So do you want to tell us how the predicament that got you here?
It was a car accident. It was a motor vehicle accident, and it was a rollover. I was ejected, and I was in a coma for, I can't even recall how many days, but I woke up days later to the news that they don't freak out, you're not going to be able to move. And I remember the first time the doctor had ever looked at me and said, you're not going to walk again, and I just kind of laughed it off, To me, it's David Casey. I'm going to walk again. Who are you to tell me, And that's been my goal since. I'm stubborn, so I'm working hard,
Good. That's good. So how did this accident happen? I know you said it was a rollover, but did you get hit? Did another car hit you? Did you go over an embankment? Was speed a factor?
So
alcohol, drugs a factor?
Yes. So I played a stupid game and I won a stupid prize. I was drinking, and I was going home. I was going fast, and that's really the moral of the story. I lost control going around the corner. I hit some dirt, hit the guardrail next, and I couldn't tell you anything after that.
So did it happen on the highway?
This happened on 3A. It's in Hooksett. You know where the right where the ice arena is over there in Hooksett?
I know 3A. I'm not really sure about the arena, but
so if you're you know where Hooksett Walmart is, right?
Yeah.
You're following that road straight, and you go about, I would say, 2-3 miles down the road, and it's right there on the left.
Towards Pembroke.
Towards Bow. Towards Bow.
Right, yeah.
Bow and Concord, yeah.
Okay, I know where it is now that you said it. Yeah, it's on the left.
Yes, sir. Yep. So, as I said, I played a stupid game and I won a stupid prize, and I'm dealing with the repercussions of it. I'm just living, as I said, trying to show even a chair can't stop you. Nothing can really stop you if you want it bad enough. Like I was saying earlier, as long as you have the goals in your head and you want to do it, and you just consistently execute them every day, you work and work and work and work, you'll make it. I know you will.
Right.
Anybody will make it.
So when you said it was T12, I know the L is lumbar and the S is sacral, and I really don't know what the T is, but when you said it was T12, so is that where like the T12 is, about where you?
Yes, sir. So it's about at the bottom of your shoulder blades, and so I had broken that bone, and that bone had left me basically decapitated. Not obviously up at the head, but I was in 2 different pieces. So I have about 14 screws in my back and 2 rods that are holding me together.
Wow.
And it's crazy to think that there's nothing wrong, like there's nothing physically wrong with my legs. It's like a neurological thing. It's all in my head now. It's a mind game, and it's me trying to teach my body to do things that the body naturally does.
Yeah, yeah.
It's tricky, but there's nobody else that I feel like I feel like I can handle it. My shoulders are strong enough to take the weight of this.
So you're paralyzed from here down. So do you have feeling, or is it like pins and needles, or?
So it's actually strange, and I could show you so you could get some type of understanding of it. But the answer, I guess, is yes. I have feeling. I have sensation. I also have some movement. I'm coming. It comes back slowly. Your nerves regenerate themselves.
Yeah.
It just takes time. So I do work a lot, and it's tough. It's tough. There's a lot of people that ask me that question. Like, a lot of people just see the wheelchair and they think paralyzed is paralyzed. Not everybody with a disability in a chair is paralyzed. Not everybody that is paralyzed is paralyzed. Some people can move. It all depends. As I said before, there's two different types. So if you're T12 complete, as they told me I was, there's supposed to be no movement. There's supposed to be nothing. No movement, no feeling, no bowel movements, nothing. But slowly, day and day, it just came back. Slowly,
There's that's a good positive sort of omen. You're already ahead of the game. I mean, I don't mean to make light of it, but you're not totally, you have feeling and movement. So to help me understand it, and everybody else to help us understand it. So what is it? You're sort of like, if I want to move my foot forward, I just, think, and my foot goes forward, right?
Yeah.
So what is it? You think you want to move your foot forward, but what? There's a disconnect.
Correct. So the only way that I can't really explain it and put it into words, it's really hard. The only way that I could put it is I could show you, but I don't know if they could see. But if you could take your hand like this,
yeah,
and you tuck every finger, right, but your ring finger, and then try to pick your finger up, and you could.
Well,
see.
I can't even do that. I don't. It's difficult for me to do that.
Now, if you try to pick up that finger.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
That's what it's like being paralyzed. It's a crazy feeling. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like almost being trapped inside of your own body. Everything that you want to do, that you could do because you used to do it, and it's just, it's not that I can't do it now. Anybody that tells me I can't do it, I just smirk it off and I say, watch me then.
That's all.
I can do anything that I want to do in this life. I just have to figure out my own way to do it now.
So. Now, how difficult is it, shall we say, for you to get around and do what you were used to doing before? I mean, are there some things I'm sure that you can't do at all, or with great difficulty?
So yeah, there's some things, as I said earlier. Like I said, we were talking about the stairs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, people in wheelchairs are not just going up and down the stairs. I tend to be different. I'll drop myself on the floor and crawl if I have to.
Yeah.
But then not everybody's like that. I can't settle. As we were saying earlier, I can't just lay and wonder if I'm gonna be able to do it. It's just it'll never get done that way. So I try, and if I do it, I do it. If I don't, I don't. It's just the moral of the story, I guess.
Yeah, well, you take it a little at a time. You were saying earlier that you go to physical therapy. Now, how often do you do that?
So I go to physical therapy twice a week. I have a neurological physical therapist. Her name's Celeste. Great woman. Great at what she does. Great at her job. She's been along now ever since I got out of the hospital, I should say. I was in the hospital until May 12th, and up until then, I received no physical therapy at all.
Wow, so you were in from November until May?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't know if I could deal with that.
It was a long time. It was definitely a long time. But as I said, I had to get out. I remember, and my birthday is May 11th, and like I said, I got out May 12th. So I was there for a long time, and ever since I woke up and they told me I couldn't walk, it's all I wanted to do. And I had everybody, even the hospital, the doctors, the nurses, everybody's telling me, no, no, no. I got them to let me try for my first time,
good.
They let me try, and then they took it away. And it hurt. So I was rolling around in the hospital. I remember I'm rolling. I found a walker on the side of the hall, and I bring it to the room. And lock my chair, and I get up and I start walking around in my room. They came in and they took that walker away. And
wow! I wonder why. See, that's what
it was
gets
just
me.
it's the healthcare system is. I can't even put it into words. I don't want to degrade it because I love every single person that helped me along this journey, that took care of me, that treated me, that was there to check on me. You know, but I don't believe they want to see me walk again. I really don't.
Well, I mean, I hate to say, but you know, the medical field, that you know, it's just like I'm on Medicare because I'm over 65. You know, you go to the doctor and they want to do this test and they want to do that test. I was going probably for 2.5, 3 years. Come back for this, come back and check that. And I swear to God, finally, I broke down in tears and I said, "This is like my second home." But you know, they know you're on Medicare, so that you know it's like a bottomless pit.
It's a scam. It's a scam. In reality, it's a scam. It really is. And insurance won't approve anything, and if they do approve anything, you almost have to like run yourself into the ground. Like, there's a lot of things when I first started physical therapy that my therapist wanted me to do, such things like E-stim, it's like a shock therapy, things like a standing frame or an air mattress, but it's stuff that they won't give you unless you have, you know, bed sores or like you're on the verge of like real, like, I almost didn't get housing. I have housing now ever since my crash. Obviously, I don't work anymore. I have housing now, and it took me physically being homeless to get any help. I have an 8-person care team. Wow. Ever since I crashed, and I honestly, I can say it and be proud to say it. I was sleeping in a car a week ago, and now I'm in a 3-bedroom apartment, living great, having friends, family over, cooking, feeding people, and I'm starting to feel like me. It's an awesome thing.
So you do your own cooking?
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. Nobody else can cook like me. That's why I Chef Boyardee.
Good for you. Good for you. So when you go, how long do these therapy sessions last that you go to?
So they come in sections as it goes. You can go, and then right now I'm in strict physical therapy. I'm in a walking program.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I'm finished with the walking program, actually next week I'm starting a swimming program, and I'll be doing the pool therapy, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when I first started, it was occupational therapy. I couldn't move as well as when I first woke up.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was so tight for as long as I've been in bed. It took me months and months of stretching and constantly just moving, because for the longest time I wasn't moving, so I had to move. And then they taught me how to get dressed. They taught me how to shower, you know, on and off the toilet, in and out the chair, in and out the car, up and off the sidewalk, in the chair, the stairs, all that. And then now it's just walking. I'm waiting on these set of braces. They're called AFOs.
All right. Good afternoon. Welcome to Norm's Friends. How are you today?
Hello.
What?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing well, but can you turn your TV down, because we can hear it like 10 seconds after we speak. Hello?
Just putting it down right now.
And what can we do for you today?
I just would like to ask, what did David do before the accident?
Okay, so before the accident, I was actually I was a commercial roofer. I worked at a company. It's called United Roofing and Remodeling. I did a lot of flat roofs. I never did shingle roofs. I did a lot of flat roofs. Other than that, I did haircuts. Obviously, I've done tattoos. I do tattoos. I was always really just a money getter. That's all I wanted to do, was just money, money, money. And I had a lot of things. I was a man of all trades, kind of. You know, I worked for North Branch Construction for a little while. I did this high rise that you guys have right down the road, across from Market Basket. I did that building.
Oh, the new one, you mean?
Yeah. It was good. It was good. I loved working construction because there was glory in it. You know, after a hard day of work, being able to look and say, "Oh yeah, I just framed up 3 apartments today." You know, it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah.
It was definitely fun.
So
I just want to say, you know, I'm so proud of how far, you know, you have came and such a positive attitude and reinforcement for yourself. I know life has put you through so much trials and tribulations, and I'm glad you have a good support system that's there for you mentally, physically, spiritually. Anyone, I do want to let you know that there's people out here who are proud of you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it more than you know. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, no problem.
You all set there? I guess she is. So you sort of a jack of all trades sort of type.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I just like fix a Felix.
But I know it. But you said, a money getter. See it. So now, when a money getter, that's all well and fine. But be a spiritual getter. I'm telling you, it'll take you a lot further than the money getting part. It really will. You'll feel enlightened. You'll feel contented, fulfilled. Instead of always.
Absolutely.
You
that was one thing I had to learn, is that, like you're saying,
Yeah. Good afternoon. Welcome to Norm's Friends. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. It's the energy lady. How you doing, David? How's your guest?
All right. My guest is fine. How are you, energy lady?
I'm wonderful.
All right. Do you have a question or a comment about my guest?
Well, I'm happy that he's making progress and everything, and he should be proud of everything he's doing.
Thank you,
And
ma'am.
God bless him, and I hope he still continues everything nice.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Well, he's got the right attitude, energy lady. He's,
Yes, he does.
that's
He's very positive.
exactly
And
right.
that's what you need to be.
Yes, ma'am.
See, that's right. And how? More than ever, I know. See, I know it's, as they always say, people out there, you think you got it bad. And so look at the situation he's in, and it is. He's got that
Oh, yeah, there's many
upbeat.
people that have worse than others, and a lot of them do try, and some people don't get credit for it, but anybody that can pick up a cup or do anything, I give them a lot of credit, because it takes effort for anything that you do.
That's right. I agree. But the attitude is half the battle. The
You
attitude.
better believe it is.
See?
It is.
And she knows. She knows.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Absolutely.
I know what that is, believe me.
So
Okie dokie, I'll let you go, and have a wonderful night, and God bless everybody.
okay, thanks, energy lady. Take care. Thanks for calling.
She's
Bye-bye.
awesome.
Bye.
She's awesome.
She is. You can feel her energy. It's so overflowing.
Absolutely.
But you're not far behind, believe it or not. You got a great attitude. You got a fantastic attitude. Good afternoon. Welcome to Norm's Friends. How are you today?
I'm good. I just want to give a great shout out to my son. Love you, Lisa,
I love you.
and I'm so proud of you and everyone. However long you have came, and you make me cry.
Don't cry. Don't
You're
cry.
doing so awesome.
Be happy.
I
That.
know.
Now who is this?
That's my sister. I gotta give her a shout out too. She's been here for the whole ride, the whole time. She's amazing woman. If I need it, she's there. She picks up where I slack. If I'm in a hole, she'll pull me out the hole just as fast as I want to get out the hole.
There you go. So she's the true
Doesn't
meaning
stop.
of a sister.
It's all love. It's all love. I
Yeah.
love her. I love my nephew, and I love her husband. All three of them is family to me. They will be. They have been, and that ain't stopping. That ain't switching. I don't do that.
All right. Very good.
Of course. All right. Love you. Enjoy your show, and thank you for having him on the show.
My pleasure. You're welcome. Thanks for calling.
All right.
Bye. So that's your sister. Now, how much? What is she? She sort of your right hand woman.
Yeah,
So-
I would say she's the mom. I would say she's the mom in my group. Like, she's just sometimes it's a little overwhelming because we're excited about something, and she's seeing these things that a mom would see. She sees
Yeah.
the bad in a good situation. She
Sure,
she
yeah.
looks at all scenarios and situations and outweighs the good and bad, which is a great thing. I appreciate her when she does it, but I don't know. I'm still a kid sometimes that's just stubborn and doesn't want to listen, you know.
You are still a kid. But so now is she your older sister or younger sister?
She's older. She's older, yeah. She's older. She's married. She has a son as well. Great kid. Well, he just started school the other day, and he's so excited. He already has like 4 girlfriends, so.
Wow, he moves quick, huh?
Yeah.
He's going to be a heartbreaker.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. So you say, what, started kindergarten or first grade?
Yeah, I think it's first grade. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mention that.
Yeah.
So now, does she live local? Is she?
Oh yeah, she lives right here in Manchester. Yeah, we see each other all the time. She comes over family dinners. I go over her house, stuff like that. You know, it's just whenever I'm alone, she doesn't let me be alone. I'm never alone.
Nice. Well, that's good for her. See, it all comes back. It all comes back. You know, if you remember all that, again, you know, to me, that's all food for your soul. All that, you know, and you can hear it, how content it makes you just with the relationship there, you know, as opposed to materialistic things. If you listen to all these people that are calling, none of that's mentioned at all, and look at how sort of.
Yeah, it's definitely great. It's cool. It's definitely cool to have a nice, genuine, you know, sophisticated conversation, you know, and get some stuff off my chest I've been dying to get out, you know.
Right. So, and now since then, now that you just mentioned that, so have you told people that you wanted to tell what you really thought of them since? Have you, you know, aired any of those grievances, shall we say?
So I would say, I mean, when I first woke up, I would say hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people checking on me, you know, and as the days went by, then it took me a long time to realize that just because I had crashed and my world stopped spinning, that it didn't for everybody else, you know. Everybody else still had lives and kids and jobs and things to do, you know. So I couldn't hold hate in my heart for that, especially because I'm a loving person, you know. I can't let my hate for it. I can't even hold hate in my heart because I just have so much love, and I understand now that I've grown and I see things differently, that what goes around comes around, if you get what I'm trying to say. The world only spins one way, so if you're putting out good energy, it's gonna come back eventually. If you're putting out bad energy, karma is a real thing, you know.
It is, and you know, like attracts like, and that's exactly right. So you know, you put all toxicity out there, that's what comes back to you.
Yes, sir.
You know, and whatever you put out there, it sort of snowballs. So you know, you want to be negative, it just keeps coming back, and it keeps, you know, a bigger burden. But you know, you stay positive, you have a nice sort of light way of thinking about you, and it all comes back to, you know, the easier how fulfilled you are, or how good you feel about yourself today. You feel that way, it's even whether you realize it or not, that it snowballs in that way. You feel better about yourself every day, and you know, like every day I wake up, no matter what the weather is outside, I always say, thank you for, you know, another beautiful sunshiny day. I say that every single morning.
Absolutely.
And it is, you know, I have the time of my life every day.
Absolutely.
So,
you gotta, and that's another thing I had to learn too throughout this, is you gotta appreciate the small victories, you know. You could get up and have the worst day of your life, but even if you get home and your bed's made, you can get in, you know, to a clean house, clean room, and you know, you're comfortable, it's a win, you know. Even if somebody holds the door for you, it's a blessing, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody has stuff going on, good, bad, you know. As long as you just, like you said, just be genuine. Even if someone holds the door for you, you should feel good about it, you know, because what if they're having a worse day from you and they're trying to make your day better, you know. You just, a lot of people just need to be better. There's so much angry, hateful stuff going on in the world right now that I used to be part of, but I've grown, you know. I see things differently now, so
yeah, and you know, it's sad. There's a lot of, again, you know, there's a lot of evil around, and that, you know, people fall into it. Some people think it's cool to be tough and negative, and you know, against this and against that, and well, you know where we are about that today. But let's concentrate on you, because you're the star here today. So now, how long did it take you to get this wheelchair? I mean, did you have to go through all this rigmarole for everything?
Oh yeah. So when I first woke up, I was in the ICU for a couple weeks, and they had thrown me a loaner chair, and that's the one that I had for a little while until I got out of the hospital.
Yeah.
It was weird, like we were talking about earlier, the insurance thing. They wouldn't. They had customized. This is a custom wheelchair. When they first asked me about it, I told them no, I'm not customizing a wheelchair. Or what I'm not gonna need it. You know, I told ever since the first day, I'm gonna walk again. I don't care what you do to it, just make it red. That was my thing. I just wanted it to be red. So I would say it took about 6 months for me to get this chair. I had another chair. I had a couple people. My Aunt Debbie, she's a great woman. She had given me an electric chair. I also have one of those. It's awesome cruising around on that thing. It's so easy.
Uh-huh. So I want to ask you, because you said you were living in your car, right? So could you drive?
So no, I wasn't driving. I luckily had my best friend to fall back on. He's actually here. He's in the audience, but he's my right hand, and he picks up where I lack. So if I need him, he's there, and he always has been. He never even switched up ever since the accident. It was his car that I had crashed. And I remember 2 days later, after I crashed, he was still at the hospital. I was in a coma, and the man put chapstick on my lips. Like he was there for all of it. He held my hand through the whole thing, and he was the only one, I would say, throughout the whole process, besides my brother, that had looked me in my eyes and told me I'm gonna be there, and he meant it. You know, I've been through a lot, and I'm not gonna turn this to a sob story, but I've been put out 3 times since I crashed because a lot of people can't really handle the situation. It's not only my life that's affected when I'm around somebody else. You know, there's a lot more stipulations that go into being in a wheelchair than just a wheelchair, and not a lot of people understand that, and not a lot of people are mentally fit to handle that. You know, and it's understandable. So like I said before, I can't be mad at anybody. I can't hate anybody. I played the stupid game and won the stupid prize, so I have to deal with it. You know,
right.
But,
so expanding on what you were just talking about, how people can't deal with. What is like some of the things that they can't deal with? Of you being in a wheelchair.
So I would just say now it's come to a point where I'm almost completely independent. I do a lot for myself now. I don't need help much. Maybe getting in and out the house, you know, going up and down the stairs. But at one point it was a lot. It was a lot. I couldn't even move. You know, I couldn't roll over. I needed help changing. I was going to the bathroom on myself. You know, like I needed help to bathe. I needed help to dress. I needed help to do everything, and it was a lot. You know, it's a lot for somebody else on top of their life, especially when they don't have to do it. Nobody's obligated to sit and take care of me, and I understand that, you know. So I feel like that's what sparked something inside of me, and I just realized, like, hey, and there's nobody that's gonna pick me up out of this but me, you know.
Well, that's true,
and that's the true fact. And when I come back around, it's everybody's still gonna get love for me, you know. As I said before, there's no hate in my heart that can overcome the love that I have for people in my life. You know, I had 22 years of life, and a lot of people in my life that I know and love, you know. And just because they don't want to be part of my situation or part of my story, that's okay, you know, because it's still my story and it's still gonna get wrote, you know.
So since this has happened to you, now have a lot of people sort of wandered away from you?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, there's a lot of people that, you know, have been there, and then just, you know, time has grown. There's a lot of people that have come and seen me, and like genuinely wanted to come and check on me, and then came and seen me. And I would say there's about 50 people that have came and seen me, but I've only seen them once, you know. And then you don't hear from them again because, like I said, nobody understands. Everybody just thinks the wheelchair's a wheelchair. There's more to it than that, you know. And
so for you, what is being in a wheel, what's your biggest sort of burden? I know there's many, but what to you, what is the biggest burden of being confined to the wheelchair for the present time?
I would say the biggest burden to me is being in the wheelchair, I guess. You know, I mean, there's a lot of things that I want to do that I have to do that I should be doing that I can't. I physically can't. You know, I have to depend on somebody else. And as I said, if they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. So if I need to get something done and it can't get done, it's just that I would say that would be it, because I know in my head, I know the person that I was before, and if I have something to do, it gets done, and then I relax. You know, I'm not gonna relax until the last minute when it has to get done, and then not do it because I did it last minute. You know, I'm not like that.
Right. I'm pretty good though at doing stuff last minute.
Yeah.
But so now, I'm curious about, you said how they told you would never walk, but you've told me all, the progress you made, and you used the walker and you're crawling up the stairs. Now, does when you tell you your medical providers and your caregivers, those things, I mean, do they give you encouragement, or do they?
So actually, strangely to say, ever since I left the hospital, I haven't seen a single doctor. And ever since my surgeon, the guy that did my surgery, the guy that saved my life, I have to give him credit for it, and I appreciate him every day of my life. But the day he told me that I was never going to walk again was the last sentence that I ever listened to that he said. I never went back to him. I still have yet to go back to them.
Well, I don't blame you. So now, how did they treat you in the hospital?
So it was good. I had a few nurses that I was real close with that took good care of me. But I mean, it's a hospital, you know. There's a million people in it.
You can give them a plug if you want. You can plug the hospital and these people. You can if they.
It's just there's you know, I mean, I can't yet again I can't get mad at the hospital when there's a hospital full of people. But I would say, like I said, my biggest thing is, it got to a point where I was independent enough that I could do everything I needed to do for myself, and the next stage for me was walking, and the hospital couldn't give me that, you know. And I don't understand why. I still have yet to understand why. I don't know if the physical therapists weren't fit or trained to do it, but I just thought it was heartless. I just believed it was heartless when the nurse had looked me in my eyes while I'm standing on my 2 feet after they told me I never would again, and took my walker from me and said, you can't do that.
Wow.
You know, it's like I've never been told by somebody you can't do that, you know, and it irks me. So every time I see it, I say, okay, so tell me I can't, and then sit down and watch, you know, sit down and watch me go.
Right, but and it's horrible. They're telling you can't, because and the saying, it's like if you hear it enough times, you believe it. And so, I'm glad though, and you didn't listen to you can't, you changed I can't to I can. So that's good. Now your physical therapist, do you tell them about, you did this, or you tried walking on your own, and what kind of feedback do they give you for that?
So I thought I tend to drive my physical therapist crazy, because I mean, I'm a very what's the word I'm looking for? I would say like when you do impulsive. I'm a very impulsive person. So if I get an idea in my head and I want to do something, I'm going to do it, you know? So if I go there and I try to ask my physical therapist something like, "Oh, I want to learn how to get up on the sidewalk with my wheelchair," you know? And then she'll tell me, she'll say, "Okay, I'm going to look up some stuff. We're going to figure it out." But by the next time I come back, I already figured it out, because I just couldn't wait, you know. Like today, after this, when we leave, I'm going to go swimming. I've never been swimming before. I just signed up for the swimming program to do it at physical therapy, but it's already in my head and it's irking me. Like I said, I can't sit and contemplate in my head or wonder if I can do something. I just can't do it. I
so now when you go swimming, now you have movement in your legs?
Yes sir. So I have a lot of movement in my right leg. The thing is with the nerves that I have, only some of them are sparking only some of the muscles, you know. So in my right leg, I have a lot of hamstring. I have some calf muscle.
Yeah.
And my hip flexor. I don't know if you know what that is, but it allows my leg to kick. But when I take steps, my foot almost wants to shoot backwards, because the hamstring pulls your foot. You know, I don't have the quad on the top, so that your quad will push your foot out, and that's what allows you to kick it out and take a step. You know, but I don't have that on my left leg. I don't have much at all. I have my hip, which allows me to make that swing to take the step. But I have what's called drop foot, and it's like, you just have no control over your foot, and it just finds a position it wants to go to and stays there. So that's what I don't know if you've ever seen Forrest Gump before.
Oh, I've
But in the
seen
movie,
Forrest Gump,
in the
yeah.
movie, he's running from the bullies, right? And he has the braces on his legs,
Yeah.
and then they fall and they break off. That's what I'm
Yeah.
getting. I'm gonna get those, and my physical therapist is predicting I'll be with a walker for about 6 months with the
Nice,
braces
yeah.
on, and then I'll have the right brace gone and 2 canes, and then by the end of it, I'm just gonna have one. It's called a KAFO, and it'll be on my ankle, and just 1 cane, and that by the time this is all done, and then I think I'm gonna make an appointment with my surgeon and go talk to him at that point.
Nice. Now, do you meditate at all? Do you do any meditation at all?
I would say so. I say like woosah a couple times a day, calm myself down. That's about it. I mean, I don't really know what to do for meditation. I just move, I work out a lot. I listen to music.
You just calm yourself down, and you sort of
Yes, sir.
go into a trance, and but when you meditate, because I was thinking if you meditate and then you're thinking, well, you said like, what is it, your quad, you don't have a quad, when you meditate, you sort of think of your nervous system, and what sort of nerves aren't connected, you think of them all connected while you meditate. But I'm talking about, half hour, 45 minutes, it's sort of, you go within, and it's, you're sort of motionless, and it's very comforting, by the way, because I meditate every day. I don't always meditate for 45 minutes, but it's that's pretty amazing too, what you can accomplish with meditation.
Absolutely, I understand what I think the biggest thing for, like, I would say to compare to what you're saying, I would say is music.
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole life, if I didn't have anybody, I had music. If I was having a good day, I could listen to a good song and be in a good mood. If I was having a bad day and I was sad, I could listen to a sad song. But either way, I could relate. Music is a beautiful thing, and I take a lot of of time to listen to music. I would say I listen to music more than I watch TV. It's just because it's soothing to me. It's just,
it is. What kind of music do you like?
I like all kinds of music. I mean, I make music as well. I made a couple songs. They're on I have them on YouTube. Same thing as me. My name, just David Casey. I love country music. I don't know why. I'll admit it. I like it. It hits different for me.
And me.
Yeah, I like.
I don't know. I like it, but I can't tell you who's singing what or the name of the song. Or
I like a lot of old school rock, like Led Zeppelin, AC/DC. 3 Doors Down, 3 Days Grace, stuff like that.
I grew up on that stuff, so
yeah?
I can relate to that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I was the best. Getting out of work, listening to some Zeppelin, drinking a Corona. Those are the days.
That's right. Good for you. See, so you're a well-rounded individual, and again, you got the great attitude. You got a fantastic attitude. You're gonna do this and you're gonna do that, and you're so determined that you will.
I hope so. I'm manifesting big things.
Right. Well, before we went on, the 1 card thing there. Remember, what did I say? You have some chaos there that has to be sorted out, and you'll be on your way. It's going to take a little time. It might take a little longer. Well, let's face it, things always take longer than we want them to.
Yes, sir.
So keep that in mind. And we'll say that for your long journey of recovery, it's you've already started it. It's a step by step. Each step you take brings you closer to the finish line.
Yes, sir.
So.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah, and again, keep make smaller expectations instead of big ones, and that way you reach that little level, and you'll feel a lot better than if we'll say, like, when you get up and you start walking, and we'll say, you can take 3 or 4 steps. So instead of saying, no, I'm going to double it today, just know I'm going to take 5 steps. And then you hit that goal, and it just makes everything easier, you feel a whole lot better, and it makes the next level easier to accomplish, as opposed to, I'm going to take 10 or 15 steps, and then you don't reach it, and, it's a setback for you. It's natural. So, there you have it. Well, so what would you like these sort of, what's the word, how could I phrase it? It's like, what would you want these people out there like that are watching? It's sort of, what is the, I know you said you want to walk, and you will walk, but other than that, it's sort of like, what can you tell us that you're sort of going through that you haven't yet? I'm trying to sort of tweak it in different areas, so it's sort of like, what, is it, do you feel overwhelmed every day for the position, for the situation that you're in? Is it overwhelming? Is it,
I mean, there's definitely days. There's days where, I'll get in my head. It's a mental battle. It's a mental battle more than a physical thing. The physical thing is nothing. There's nothing to it. Your body is a machine. As I said, it regenerates itself. You heal.
Yeah, it does. You're right. Your body heals itself.
It's a mental thing, and your head is the worst place to be. I can't lie. And sometimes I get trapped in it, and it's not an everyday thing that I'm the most positive guy in the world. But I manage it. You just gotta, as I said before, you just gotta know what you want. Like I said, there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. I know what I have to do. I know all the steps to get there, and I know damn well I'm gonna get there.
Right, and that when you said there's days where it's sort of gets you down, and that's all your ego. Your ego always wants to be in control, and that's what it will do for your ego to stay in control. But like I said, you reach out to your higher self or your inner self, whatever you want to call it. That's when you tune in to your spiritual self. Sort of tell your ego, I'm not listening to you today. I'm doing it. Instead of, and that's, let's face it, people slip into that a lot easier than sort of, having the stamina to get up every day and, face another day of sort of, what little triumphs can I do today, as opposed to, let's face, I'm sure that, it's difficult. People sort of give up in your situation. It's like, woe is me.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see that in you one little bit at all.
Like you said, it is a rare breed, and I'm very humble, but I will say that like you said, there is a lot of people that aren't built for stuff like this. It takes, you do have to find and pull something out of yourself that not a lot of people have. A lot of people are comfortable with being comfortable, if that makes sense. A lot of people like just going to work, doing their job, living their life. Me, I like finding out what's next. I like having something to do next. I hate being comfortable. So even in a car, even homelessness, even the hospital, even the crash, like all this stuff is just, I was built for it. My shoulders could handle it, and I'm ready to handle it. And I want, hopefully at the end of this, for someone else to know or feel as if when they're in a time and they feel like they got nothing left, that there's something left. There's always something left. You gotta want it. You gotta want it.
Well, that's true. See, I was just gonna say to somebody in a similar situation, words of wisdom. You just said it great. That's right. You gotta want it and don't give up. And
that's it. Yeah. As soon as you stop telling yourself I can't and that you can, that's when it'll change for you, man. You just gotta see it. You gotta want it. I've envisioned so many goals inside my head, and every time I want a goal and I try to reach it, I reach it. So it's like there's no point in me laying in bed anymore and feeling bad and saying, I can't, I'm trapped, I'm stuck, I'm paralyzed. The world is mine for the taking. I'm going to take it if I can.
Good for you. Well, that's what they say. The world is your oyster, so, So what? I got another question. Now, what's the difference, would you say, in attitude from like when you first come out of the coma? Or what was it like to, when you first, how long were you in a coma for?
I can't recall. I would say It was days. It was days. It wasn't a short coma. It was a couple days. But when I woke up, I was when I had woke up, they had woken me up to see. They wanted to know if I could breathe on my own because I had punctured my lung,
Yeah.
and I had the breathing tube in.
Yeah.
So, but the only way that they could wake me up from a coma, which I didn't know, is pain. You know.
Oh, really? Wow.
And so I had broken
didn't
all
know
these
that.
ribs on the side. The doctor came in the room and he put his knee on my chest and woke me up.
Wow.
And as soon as I woke up, I was trying to breathe. I'm choking. They pulled the tube out, and I was on so many medications. I don't remember much, but all I remember is them like telling me, don't freak out. You're not going to be able to move. You're in a car accident, and my head was spinning. But all I knew, the only thing that was going through my head was proving that doctor wrong, that I was going to walk again, and it still is. It's almost the main reason that I get up out of bed every single day, because I've never wanted something so bad in my life.
So when they told you don't freak out, did you freak out though?
I wouldn't say I freaked out. Strangely, weirdly, the first thing that I wanted and said when I woke up was that I wanted my vape. Yeah, the nicotine. I guess
funny.
that's the first thing
Yeah.
I said is, "Where's my vape?" And
You still vaping, by the way?
yeah, I do sometimes. It's a hard thing to break. I don't know. It's weird. I just can't stop. I don't know.
And nicotine is.
Yeah,
It's
a serious,
addictive.
it's a
There's no
serious
question
thing,
about
but-
it. I got another question for you, about the coma, because you hear these stories when people are in comas. Could you hear? Do you remember hearing or feeling anything while you
No,
were in
sir.
the coma?
No, sir. So it's actually funny. As I had said before, my best friend, his name's Ramon, he was there, and there was a video. This is how I knew that he was putting the chapstick on me, and I remember it was the saddest thing in my life. I cried when I saw it, but they were just talking to me, and they were saying, I know he can feel me touching him. I know you can hear me. I know you can hear me. And I just cried. I remember I just cried because I couldn't, and I just, the only thing I didn't even really remember much from the coma. The only thing I remembered is I have one dream from my crash when I had woken up, and it came from when they brought me the clothes that I was wearing that they cut off of me, all bloody and everything. They gave them to me, and I had a dream that night, and it was awful.
So do you mind if I ask you questions about the accident? I'm curious. It's like, what do you remember about it? And I know you said it was a rollover, but do you remember it occurring, or how much do you remember of it before it occurred? I mean, do you?
I honestly, I remember driving. I remember driving fast, but I just don't remember. I really don't. I don't remember much. The only thing that came back in the dream is that I had remembered hitting the guardrail, and I've never even told anybody this, but I hit the guardrail and I spun and I flipped over, and this place where I crashed was like 5 feet before where I hit that guardrail. I would have been in a grass field and I probably would have been fine. But I hit this guardrail and I flipped, and there was water as far as I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking in my head, I don't want to be trapped in the water. And I don't believe I was ejected. I believe that I jumped out of that car because I thought I was going to land in water. That's the only recollection I have of my entire crash.
And so do you remember how fast you were driving?
I
know
don't.
it's only like a 35 or 40 mile an hour speed limit there.
No, sir, I don't recall. I couldn't tell you. I don't even remember it being a radical. I was just on my way home. This crash was at 3:30 in the morning.
Wow, that's pretty early. So I don't know. You said you were drinking.
Yeah,
That's
it was a long night.
So it's like, what's the last thing you remember? Hitting the guardrail, rolling over, or what?
I would say, just as I said, remember thinking that there was water and not wanting to be trapped in the car. That's all I really remember from the whole thing.
Wow.
It's terrible. It's hard because now that the crash is over and done with, the state actually they want to come at me for the damages of it, and I've been trying to get the dash cam footage so I can find out what really happened to me and get some clearance and closure.
Oh, you had a dash cam?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
yes,
good.
sir. So no, the police had a dash cam. So
Oh, yeah.
it was a pursuit.
Oh, they were. Oh, okay.
So they I have court for it, but I just can't. I still yet know or have yet to find out what happened to me the night I crashed. I couldn't tell you.
Wow. So what do they want you to like pay for the guardrail?
Yes,
I take
sir.
it.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. So.
But they do that everywhere.
Yeah, but that's okay. I'm an adult.
Yeah.
You know, I understand the principle of taking
Yeah.
accountability for what I did. I'm gonna go and I'm probably gonna set up a payment plan and pay it. You know, I did what I did, and I'm trying to close that chapter of my life. And in order for me to become the man I want to become, I have to
Yeah.
close that chapter. And and if that's what I have to do, I'll do it. That's nothing compared to all I've been through.
Well, that's for sure, and you've certainly come a long way since then.
Yes, sir. I'm trying.
So,
Trying.
well, you're not. Let me just make, instead of saying I'm trying, I'm doing. Because, trying, people, it's just like people try to quit smoking, they never quit smoking. I'm trying. Either quit smoking or don't. But it's, don't say you're trying, because you're doing, you're accomplishing. There's a big difference. So, give yourself all that much more credit. You're doing it. You're not trying, you're doing it. Big difference. So, little
Yes, sir.
more,
Yes, sir.
make your head a little bigger. You're doing it. You're doing a great job, too. You've come a long way, all on your own. You're defying the odds of what they told you was going to be a lot in life. So, give yourself a big pat on the back for that.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that more than you know. I'm so grateful to be here. I thank you for the opportunity, and definitely glad it came out.
Yeah, hey, it was interesting for me. I hope that, didn't go in areas you didn't want to go, and you didn't have to answer the question, but, just because I never really had the chance to really speak to someone, on a one-to-one and sort of, fulfill questions that I had about people in wheelchairs, because I don't, I didn't want to go up to a stranger and just,
Yeah,
So-
before I had crashed, I was completely blind to disability and people in wheelchairs, and now that I'm in a
Yeah.
wheelchair, I see how careless not only I used to be, but just how careless people are, like it could be small things like something that doesn't hold weight on a regular person's shoulder as such, like parking in a handicap spot, or blocking a crosswalk because you're just running in the store
Right.
real fast, something like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect you. It doesn't hurt your day because you're just going in the store real fast. But if I'm trying to cross the street and get up
Yeah.
on that crosswalk and you're parked there,
Yeah.
I might have to go 3 blocks down the road, If you're parked in the handicap spot, it could mean I have to push myself all the way across the parking lot. And I'm young. I'm 22 years old. I'm not going to complain about that because I want to feel normal, So
Yeah.
I don't mind doing that if I have to. But for
Yeah.
people in wheelchairs, some of them, it's just it's so careless. It only takes
Yeah.
2 seconds for you to just park where you should. There's a reason that there's a crosswalk in the street.
Yeah.
There's a reason that the handicap spaces are handicap spaces. I just think people need to be
Yeah.
better about that.
All right. So we have to wind it up because we don't have a lot of time left. But I want to thank you for coming on as a guest today. I really appreciate it. You certainly gave me a lot of insight to what people go through, and especially like that. And at a young age, you got a whole life ahead of you still, and you got the right attitude. And again, so I want to thank you, David Casey. Everybody who's watched,
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We'll help you out. Anyway, again, I'm David B., the readings guy. 603-404-9338, biffid@yahoo.com. Give me a call. We can set up any type of reading you want. And remember, please, 2 things you need to remember always. 1, you can't be dumb if you want to be free. And 2, more importantly, you are a winner.